Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari, and in the series of company law, in my last video, we have understood the origin, meaning and definitions for the word company. In this video, we are going to understand the nature and characteristics or nature and features of company. Here I have mentioned video 1 because in this video I am going to give you the list of as many as 17 natures and features of company. When I say 17, I cannot elaborate all of them in a single video. What I am going to do here, I am going to give the entire list. I am going to give a beautiful chart which is a trick to remember all the 17 features so that you can remember, recall and write all of them in the exam. And next video onwards, I am going to explain each of them in detail along with case laws, because most of the time in exam they are asked as an independent question. Lot of them are asked as an independent question for 5 marks or so. So it is very necessary for us to know each of them in detail, and they will play multiple roles while we are learning company law. So we need to have clear clarity as to what are they. So this is a series of video, and to understand all those 17 and to learn the trick, you need to stay with me till end of this video, and it is worth investing time on this video. With that, I am taking you to the first slide. Before I start the presentation, I repeat to request you guys to stay with me throughout the presentation, as I am going to make it very easy with the help of a beautiful chart which I have set up with some context so that you can easily remember them. For now, let's start from where we left. Somehow in the last presentation I forgot to speak about the last para of the last slide, and I later decided to talk about that in this presentation's first slide. That's what you are seeing in this slide's last part. Before we getting there, let's quickly go through the definitions that we have seen in the last presentation when we discussed origin, meaning and definitions. Let's understand the different nature and characteristics covered in the definitions. Lord Justice Lindley's definition is quite long, but if you read the bold letters there, you can see key mentions like company is an association of many persons, the shares are always transferable, etc. Professor Hannes' definition covers 5 features straight away. It covers artificial person, creation of law, separate entity, perpetual succession and common seal. Chief Justice Marshall's definition covers the artificial person, existing in the eyes of law, creation of law. Salmon's definition covers 5 points, and they are artificial person, separate legal entity, perpetual succession, common seal and transferability of shares. So with all this, we can see the last part of the presentation where we see lot of nature and features of company, like company is a registered association which can be formed or closed only by the Companies Act, which is an artificial legal person, has independent legal entity, has perpetual succession, works with the common seal for its signature, and will have common capital comprised of transferable shares with defined liability. If you think the list is long, that's not all. We have the entire list in my next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Here is the big list of nature and features of company. I have given as many as 17 points, and you are seeing 5 different color combinations. I am covering these 17 points in my next 5 classes. That is why these color combinations. I have aligned all these 17 points in some context. I have tried to add some logics to all these points while sequencing them. I'll quickly read out all the 17 points, and in the meantime you can try to find some logic behind it, and if you are unable to find the same, nothing to worry. You will have your answer in my next slide. For now, the 17 features that I have listed are: company is a voluntary association, company is a corporate legal personality or a registered association which can be formed or closed only by the Companies Act, Company is not a citizen, it is an artificial person. Though it is not a citizen, it will have nationality and residence. Company is a separate legal entity. Company can have separate property. Companies will have separate management. The members will have defined liability like limited, unlimited and or guaranteed liability. Transferability of shares is one another nature and feature of company. Companies will have perpetual succession or the existence. Companies work under common seal. Companies will have capacity to sue and to be sued. Companies will have contractual rights under the common seal. Companies will have limitation of action, and termination of existence is one another nature and feature of company. In the meantime, have you find any logic? If not, why are we here? Let's move to the next slide and find the answer. This was the slide that I was referring to. Let's try to understand this like a story so that we can remember them all while writing an exam. I have divided them into three major parts or a kind of questions. The first one is who is company? Second one is what are the scopes of company? The third one is how do they perform? Let's start with who is a company. Company is an association. That's very easy. But remember that not every association is a company. You might be having some youth club or ladies club etc. which are also associations and we don't call them company, right? Why not? Because most of them may not be registered and you may say that what if the one that you have in your village or town is registered? Now here is the crux. Not every registered association is a company but only those associations registered under the Companies Act are companies. So we are covering three major parts here. The first one is company is an association. Second one, they are not just association, they are registered associations. And the third one, yes, they are registered under Companies Act. Now there we have covered three major aspects. I hope by now you are clear that company is an association. If it is an association, then it is definitely not a citizen because citizenship is given to individuals. While it is not a citizen, it is still existing in the eyes of law as it is registered association under the Companies Act and hence it is considered as an artificial person. When I say company is not a citizen, don't get confused that it doesn't have nationality or residence. Companies does have nationality and residence. When Bosch opens a company in India, we say it's a German-based multinational company. And if Tata opens a branch in Sri Lanka or some other country, that country will recognize Tata as an Indian multinational company. The origin of the company is its nationality or residence. Hope the first part is clear. Now let us discuss the second part, that is the scope of the company. Company is separate from its members and members are separate from company, and with that it is clear that company is separate legal entity. One can't make responsible for the act of the company and likewise the company can't be made liable for individuals' action at individual level. This concept needs a detailed discussion and we shall discuss it in detail when we are discussing lifting of corporate veil. Moving on, we should know that company can buy, sell and retain or enjoy the properties. Actions of the companies will be managed by the people in the company as defined, and that's what I mentioned there, that company will have separate management. Members of the company will be liable to the extent it is defined. They can't be held liable for everything happened in the company. The members' liability limits to the level of shares that they have and such shares can be transferable. If 100 people have shares and few of them dies, company will not get closed. Company continues to exist even after the death of members or change of members, and that's why it is said that company has perpetual succession, which means the succession here never ends. It is like an ultimate loop of relay. In relay run, what happens? Runner passes baton to one after another. Just like that, the shares can see unlimited transfers and the company continues with existence even with a lot of such transfers. The last part is, how do the companies perform? The answer is simple. Company is not an individual, but it will have a common seal and individuals will run company under that seal. Using the seal, companies can sue anyone and it can also be sued for the action did by using such seal. Companies do sign contracts utilizing the common seal. Saying so, company cannot do anything and everything using the common seal. It can do only such actions which are defined under Memorandum of Association. Finally, it is to be noted that companies have perpetual succession, but it doesn't mean that companies can't be closed. Companies can be closed based on the board's decision. So that's how you have to read: common seal, capacity to sue and to be sued, contractual rights, limitation of action and termination of existence. So that's the start, midlife and end of the company, and I hope by remembering this sequence you can answer your question. Take a screenshot and read them again. Well, this is just a beginning. You need to understand each of them in detail along with case laws, as most of the time they ask individual nature or feature to explain in the short answer or 5 marks question. You need not to worry. In the next 5 videos, I am covering all these features in detail. Wherever required, we shall cover the case laws also. That's my time on this video, and I will see you with one another video, and for now I am handing over the presentation to little Nishan. You guys take care and always stay happy.
Today I've covered 12,000 steps, but it all started with zero. Every journey starts with zero. You have to start somewhere. With that, I'm concluding this session. Please subscribe our channel. Please like, share and comment our videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.